Hello and welcome to the Business Owner's Playbook, brought to you by Alspaugh Wealth Management. We're here with you every so often, giving you a great podcast with some great information. If you're a business owner, you've got to subscribe to this channel. So go to YouTube and check out the Business Owner's Playbook. You can actually search that, or you can search Alspaugh Wealth Management. Probably better luck, wouldn't you say, Tony, searching
Yep.
Alspaugh Wealth Management. And then you can also check us out on Spotify or wherever you get your podcast. So really great ways to get a hold of us and understand where we're at on the web, and you can listen to different shows. Last time we talked, it was a great conversation about how you can help yourself within your business financially.
Yeah.
Now, today, we're going to change gears a little bit. We're going to talk about selling your business. So we're going to go from kind of you're still accumulating. If you have phases of your financial life. We talk about this on the retirement playbook, right? Or
Sure.
other podcasts.
Yep.
And we talk about the phases of your money and your life and how they relate to each other, which is the accumulation phase. Then you have your distribution phase, and then you've got your legacy phase, like you're dead, and now you got to pass these assets along to the next generation. So my point is that you have the same phases when you are a business owner. It's just a little different, right?
Yeah, you have your building phase and
Yep.
your accumulation phase where you're building the business. And eventually you're going to want to retire yourself or sell the business, correct?
That's exactly right, Tony. And
Yeah.
we're going to talk about that discussion and many discussions that I have currently with business owners now. So if you are a business owner, folks, go subscribe to these channels, get on the podcast. And then also, if you need help in your life, our website is dedicated to not only helping people retire if they're not a business owner, but business owners and understanding, because I'm a business owner myself, understanding where you're at. Like I get you. I understand what you're going through and what you need to do to be prepared to maximize the value of your business and then turn that business into income, right? Because that's
Right.
what it's all about, guys. You're just, instead of, hopefully you've got a big 401k on top of your business. That's unfortunately, sometimes I hear that from business owners. Well, my 401k is my business. And that could partially be true, but it's also important to maximize your 401k benefits too,
Yeah.
that you have. So
Yep.
anyway, getting on with it, this is all going to be about selling your business. Today's show is. And so again, if you need help in your own life, you can go to our website. It's alspaughwealthmanagement.com. You go to the homepage and you can scroll down. You'll see, hey, if you're a business owner, click here. And you're going to see multiple videos on there that can, relate to where you're at in your life and your business life. And so there's different videos to watch with different topics. So it's a great website. And then you can also click and fill out an information form to where if you want to meet with me and talk about your business and where you're at and where you're going and how we can help you get there, just fill that out and we'll get in contact with you and at least just have maybe a conversation if that's all we need to have, or we can move it forward and get into some other things that we'll talk about today in today's show. All right.
Sounds
Enough
good.
of that. Yeah.
So where do you want to start when it comes to selling your business? We're talking about a guide to help you here. What's the first thing people out there need to know?
Tony, it's one of those things where it is the biggest financial and emotional decisions a business owner will ever make. And that's selling your business. Think about it. You poured your life. You've got sweat, blood, potentially tears.
Yeah.
I mean, happiness tears and sad tears and just, it is a very emotional deal. And while you might be at a stage in your life, in your business life, that you're just kind of tired of the grind and doing things and working so much, you might be at that point in your life. It's still going to come to a time, and trust me, I've worked with lots of business owners that have sold their business. It doesn't matter how frustrated you might be at the end in the workings of your business. It is going to be a different life for you folks. It's going to be a different life. You might be really excited about selling your business, and that's great, but there's going to be some things that you need to think about emotionally, right? Not just the financial side. And this is again, there's a lot of parallels here to people that are just retiring too from their job. But when you're a business owner, it's just a little bit different. There's just a lot more emotional attachment to it. So here's the questions, right? When is the right time to sell? That's the magical question. And I relate that question a lot of times, Tony, to when people are trying to time the stock market. Okay.
Mm,
If you are trying to time to sell your business to maximize the value because maybe multiples are the highest, or you feel like they're at the highest, or maybe you're trying to hold out because you think, your value might go a little higher because of the economy or whatever, stop. Okay. Because what you need to do is be ready to sell no matter what the market is doing. Okay.
right.
And so there are things you can do in your life and in your business to get ready to sell so you don't have to worry about it. And maybe there are some certain factors that maybe reduce the value of your business at a particular point when you're ready to sell, but you've got to be willing to accept that, right? And so if you've done enough homework and you've done enough preparation in your own life to where even if it was a little bit less on the value of your business, but you're going to be okay.
Mhm.
So, for example, if my business is worth 10 million and I go down to 8 million because of whatever outside factors that I have no control over, I
Right.
better be able to retire on that amount of money. That's my
Sure.
point. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. All right. So that's one question. What is my business actually worth? That's another great question. Okay. We're going to help you answer that question. Okay. That's kind of our call to action, if you will, today. And that, listen, you need to be emotionally ready. You need to be financially ready. And then you need to have your business in order. Right. And so the better your business is prepared and organized, that's a really big one too. The better all of your stuff is tight, right? In other words,
Yeah.
I've done this right and I'm ready to do this. That's going to maximize the value of it. But how do you know where you're going if you don't know where you're at now? It's impossible.
Right.
You got to know
Right.
where you got to know
Right.
where you're at now. And so we have a service that will allow you to understand the value of your business. And what's great about it is that we have a link that you can click on and it will take you to a website that will have our logo on there. And it's a service that allows, if you put into the right information and the right correct information, and then you'll need to have your financial information with you to be able to do this, but it will take you 20 to 30 minutes if you have all the information readily available. And I'm talking about basically your financial reports, right? So your balance sheet, your cash flow sheet, profit and loss sheets. If you have reports, if you have all of those reports, basically those three, you can answer all these questions,
Yeah.
right? And so if you have that information, do this report. I'm telling you, 20 to 30 minutes. It'll be the best 20 or 30 minutes. Now, is it an official valuation of your business? No, but it's going to be very, very close.
Yeah.
Okay. One of the tools that we use, I mean, it's out there, Tony. I know you use it. I use it every day. It's called AI, artificial
Yeah.
intelligence. Okay. And that's part of what we use to get this service done for you to understand where your value of your business is. But you would be amazed at how accurate it is. Even if you've never used AI and you don't understand it, how it works, and you've never used Chat GPT, which is amazing too, just trust me on this. Okay. It'll get you started, and it's a very low entry fee to get this done. Okay. So anyway, you can click on this and have a report generated for you to understand where you're at. And it actually does have some goals on there too. It will show you, hey, I would like to have X amount of dollars in 5 years as far as the value of my business, and that we can make work. We can make some adjustments based on what your goals are. So understanding, well, again, where you're at, where you're going, and how we can help you get there. Now, you might be asking yourself, Tony, it's like, okay, well, that's great. That helps me understand the value of my business now. It can then take it another step, and with Brock's help and his team, we can understand what we need to do to get a better valuation and to grow it and to get it to where we need it to be. But now, here's the other question, Tony. What is that? What does that mean? Get it to where I need to be.
Yeah.
Well, that's the amount of money you need to continue to maintain your lifestyle.
Yeah.
Okay. So there's so many work. I mean, you see why it's so complex. This is not just, hey, I've got a 401k. I've got some other assets. I need to create income. I mean, that is can be complex, but when you have a business and it's part of your income plan, that's what you've worked so hard for, and you're going to sell it
Mm.
and you're going to live off of the proceeds of that business. You better have a team of experts that are helping you understand how to maximize that value and then also how to create lifetime income. Okay.
Ah, yeah.
That's a huge deal,
And
Tony.
that way you can walk away from the business without that financial stress.
So you might be thinking, okay, well, I'm going to have to pay taxes on this, and then, I'm going to get down to a $3 or $5 million, net nest egg after I pay taxes and all this kind of stuff. And then all of a sudden, you're thinking, oh, okay, well, what kind of income would that create? And what about Social Security and all these other in my 401k? All these, how does that work with this plan? Well, we can show you exactly how that works and how it all comes together and creates an income stream that you can live off of.
Mhm.
And maybe you can't. Maybe you need to work for 10 more years. Maybe we need to double your valuation from where you're at now. But how do you know?
Yeah.
How do you know? So,
Unless you go through the process, and I know you
bingo.
can help walk people through it. So,
Yeah.
let's talk about why
Yep.
do owners decide to sell their businesses?
I just, Tony, I love this. I love this conversation because I am so enthused about helping business owners. That's my passion. Like I love helping everybody, but like this hits right at, center
Right.
with me. And so anyway, so in my experience, right, owners usually sell for one of five reasons, Tony.
Okay.
Okay. The first one is going to be obviously retirement or a lifestyle change,
Yeah.
right? Like you're saying, ooh, I took a few weeks off. I didn't I've never done that before, and I kinda like that,
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
And so it's like, okay, let's kind of explore doing this a little bit more, and oftentimes, Tony, I will tell you, that's what happens. It starts off with a week to 2 weeks to 3 weeks and 4 weeks and 5, and so it just keeps progressing, and then, maybe it's just a passive ownership, and then maybe it's like, okay, a minority sale, and then maybe it's a private equity sale or conversation, and then it's like, okay, I'm completely done. And so a lot of times that's the way it happens. In fact, I mean, out of the deals we've done in the last year or so, I would say 80% of them are that way. It's not just oh, hey, here's the value of my business. I'm selling it all and I'm done. I'm walking away cold turkey. It just it just doesn't usually happen that way. Okay. Not in today's world. And so that's okay. So sorry, I keep, losing track here, but basically that's what I'm talking about is when you have a retirement or a lifestyle change, that's the number one reason out of all to retire. The
Yep.
second reason I've seen, Tony, is burnout or your loss of passion. Like
Yeah.
you just don't like the idea of coming in and dealing with issues within the business or managing employees. It kind of gives you that burnout feeling of, man, if, and here's the thing I hear all the time, insert name, right? Here we go. If I could just be a blank and not have to run the business, I would be so much happier.
Yeah.
If I could just be a dentist and not have to worry about all the business owner stuff, I'd do it in a heartbeat. If I could just be an attorney, again, fill in the blank. It doesn't matter. I hear it all the time. If I could just sell and not have to worry about all the other stuff, like
Yep.
it happens I hear it all the time. But guys, unfortunately, that's not the way it works.
Right.
And the reason why it doesn't work is because you've worked your tail off and have done a good job and built up a good business where you needed to hire other people and have issues that come with owning a business, okay, and growth. So that's a good thing. All these things are good, but they also can lead to a burnout or a loss of passion. And that's a number two reason why I would say. Number three, Tony, I would say is either health or family considerations, right? You got some family or friend that, is not doing well health wise, and you feel like you need to help them out, and we see that a lot too. Or maybe you've got your own health problems, and you're like, okay, if I keep doing this, the good Lord's gonna come a little early and call
Sure.
for me, and that kind of stuff. And so you see that a lot. I'd say, another reason, Tony, um, it's some one of those things that if you get an offer for your business, it's too
Ah,
good to ignore. Like you don't. a lot of times what I have found, Tony, is a lot of business owners don't truly understand the value of their business, right? And again,
So if
that's one of
somebody
the
comes to them and says, "Hey, would you be interested in selling your business?" They're like, "Oh, okay. I never thought
correct.
that could happen."
And why
Maybe.
is that? Because they truly don't know the value of their business.
Right,
Okay.
right,
Which is
exactly.
what we're offering today. We're saying, hey, if you don't know the true value of your business, call us or get on our website and we have the link available to where you can click on it and it will go to a website that will ask you a series of questions. Again, don't do it unless you have your financial reports. Get your profit and loss report, get your balance sheet, get your cash flow sheet, get those reports from your QuickBooks that you might use or whatever it is, or talk to your accountant, or we can actually work with your accountant too. We prefer that you just do it yourself and it will generate a nice report, you know, and depending on the complexity of your situation, I mean, you could look, I mean, a lot of times it's less than $5,000, right? You're probably looking at 1,000 to 2,500 for most cases. So to have pay that little of a fee and to understand I'm going to know what the value of my business is, that's awesome. That's a great first step to
Yeah.
take to get a full report of what your business is worth. Okay. So, anyway, that is something. And then the last one I would say, Tony, is just strategic timing, right? Selling at a peak value. So maybe you've seen over the years, your multiples of EBITDA be, maybe 4 or 5 multiple of EBITDA. And now it's like, oh my gosh, it's like 10 times or 12 times EBITDA. So your multiple is doubled essentially from what you were kind of used to.
Mhm.
Maybe things have changed in the sector or industry, or there's there's a lot of private equity money out there that they've been spending a lot of money on buying businesses, and so sometimes just demand uh you know will motivate that multiple to go up. So when you're talking about these kinds of things, and it's just like, okay, kind of going back to our last one, it's almost too good to be true. Selling at peak value would be another reason that I see commonly. And so none of these reasons are right or wrong, Tony.
Mhm.
It's just like, what does success look like after you sell your business? Right.
Good
And
question.
yeah. And so it may be like, hey, I want to travel. I want to do these things. I want to invest in another business and just be a silent partner. See that a lot too. So there's lots of ways to stay motivated, connected, and understand that, hey, I still have value, because that, Tony, a lot of times is a problem. Seriously, and I'm not kidding. Somebody sells their business and has been used to being the boss
Yeah.
and now sells their business and they're not the boss, because when they go home, they're not the boss. If they're a guy, especially, right? Because we all know that our wives are the actual boss. But
Yep.
but my point is, it's serious.
Yeah.
Like, you need to have a plan as to what you're going to be doing, and don't just say I'm going to travel more, or whatever. No, I want you to think about your day to day routine, because that is what will keep you from feeling not necessarily depressed, but there's feelings of not having value, because
Right.
in so many years you had tons of value, to a lot of people, maybe within, not only in your business, but the people and companies that were connected to your business.
Yeah.
So anyway, I mean, I know a lot of people, oh yeah, I used to go to the trade shows and I used to go to all these, different conferences, and I was a speaker at a couple of conferences and all, and now that's gone,
Yeah.
you know.
Yep. So
You were Yeah,
that's
so
tough.
it
Well,
is
hey,
tough.
let's go to the next question. Are you ready to sell? I mean, that's the big one, right? Some people, a lot of people say, I'm just not ready, but they don't know. They might be able to get ready pretty easily, but there are some questions you have to ask. Am I
You
actually ready?
100%, Tony. You're exactly right. And it goes back, I've kind of made some of these points already, but how much money do you need for the rest of your life?
Yeah.
That's the question.
Yeah.
Okay. What will the proceeds of the sale support in a lifestyle? Like, can I actually do the things that I really want to do? Or can you only do the things that you need to
Right.
do? And so that's a big one. How dependent is my personal income on the business today? Right.
Yeah.
And so, understanding how your business proceeds affect your lifestyle is a huge one. So kind
Right.
of reverse engineering into it, saying, hey, how much money do I need? Okay, what's the value of my business? Okay, those don't match up right now. So then there's adjustments that need to
Yeah,
be made.
and that's
Either
where you come in
that's
as
right.
a business, counselor and a wealth advisor to help founders and business owners, and that's personal readiness. You've talked a lot about that, but what about business readiness? Whether even if you're ready, is your business ready? You have to ask that too, right?
100%. And we hit on this last show, right? We hit on like cash flow and those kinds of things, making sure you have emergency funds, that kind of stuff. But when it comes to paying a premium for a business or getting the true value of your business out of it, right?
Uh-huh.
Can the business run without the owner? Ask yourself that. Can this business run without me? Okay. Because people that are interested in buying your business want the answer to be yes. Okay. So they want your business to be able to run without you. So
Yep.
are you empowering other people, right? Or is it just about you and making money? Listen, making money is a part of it. But the other part of it is making sure that your business can run without you actually being there. Okay.
Yeah,
Have a
because
clean, reliable financial statements. We talked about the financial statements. Are you organized? That's really what we're talking about. Are you organized within your business, right? Can you show consistent growing cash flow,
mm,
right? That's another one. These are all ways to know if your business is ready. Okay. Do you have diversified customers or suppliers, or is 65% of your income on one customer, right? That's not good
no,
from right. So
no,
there's a lot. Those are great tools right there that we just mentioned, Tony, that will help you understand if your business is ready to
yeah.
sell.
Because if you're and I like that, can it run without the owner? That's the big one, because if you're the center of every decision, every relationship, every sale, that's gonna be viewed as a risk to the buyers, and you're not.
100%.
Yeah.
And so, Tony, actually, let's just relate it to me. So, Alspaugh Wealth Management. Actually, my name is on the building. I get that, right?
Yeah,
And so,
your business wouldn't last 1 minute without you, Brock. I mean, what are you talking about?
fake news. That is not true. Okay, that
I'm
is not
teasing.
true. I've got a great team here,
Yeah, you
and
do.
yeah, and but I was going to say this, Tony, is that we're working on that to
Sure.
expand that. Like it can run without me,
Yeah,
right?
you have a succession plan. You know about working that and making sure that's in place, and you've hired people and are still
Right.
hiring people. So,
That's
I mean,
exactly right.
you're still somewhat in the growth mode, but you know how to get it there, and
That's
that's
exactly right.
important. Yeah.
It is. It is. And so, that's a big one. And again, I will tell you, there are a lot of benefits to that. And not just financially and not just to get your business more value. It's just a really personable, it makes you feel good when you've helped somebody else understand the value of helping other people. So in other words, like I'm training a financial advisor to work. So I'm training him to help people. And it feels good that I'm helping that person understand the value of helping other people. The money will come, folks. That's not it. It's all about helping people. And if you have that servant's heart and understand that when I help people, they're going to tell everybody, all their friends, and then that's how I'm going to organically grow my business.
Right.
It's such a great feeling, Tony.
Yeah.
It's such a great feeling.
It's
So,
got to be huge.
yeah, it
Right.
is. It is. Holy cow. We're just about out of time here, Tony. And I know we've talked about a lot of great things today. But I do want to continue this topic, right? And maybe we do it next show here and
Yeah,
talk.
let's make it a two-parter
Yeah, let's do it.
because we haven't even gotten into the meat of it, right? I
I
mean,
mean, yeah,
of figuring out what your business is really worth. I mean, that's the next thing we're going to talk about, and let's save that for
let's
next
do
month's
it.
show.
But if you want a little sneak peek and you want to understand the true value of your business, you can do that. Okay. We have a valuation service that is you can do online. Okay. And so you can click on our website. You can be able to click on a link within the business owner section. You'll see it on our website at alspaughwealthmanagement.com. Or if you just want to have a conversation about it, give me a call 573 332 7855.
All right. Yeah, definitely. Because, like you said, you talked about that resource earlier that you had for business owners, and they can sit down and talk to you. They can go to that website, figure out what if they have what they need to sell their business, what it's worth. You can help them figure these things out. I think
Absolutely.
that's fantastic.
Yeah, man.
So great show today, and we're going to continue this discussion.
Yeah.
We're going to continue this guide to selling your business in the next show here in a couple of weeks. So, Brock, great show. Thanks for all the great information. Listeners out there and viewers, thanks for tuning in. That does it for today's episode of Business Owners Playbook with our host, Brock Alspaugh.